Hopefully, everyone enjoyed their weekend as Week 5 of the college football season now in the books. But you are locked and loaded. New week, fresh slate of shows, fresh energy, live right here on In My Own Words, the podcast. Stephen Smith, Touchdown, Alabama Magazine, Crimson Tide head coach Nick Saban, and the program getting a 56-14 victory over the weekend against Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama improving to 5-0 on the season as its attention now turns to face the Arkansas Razorbacks getting back into Southeastern Conference play. Before I go any further, once again, I'd like to remind you, Touchdown Alabama Magazine app, pick it up right now. Download the app. If you want the best in Alabama football, Nick Saban and this program in the palm of your hands, leaving no stone left unturned, the best in analysis, the best in video, the best in podcasts, the best in practice recap, game recap, the best in articles. You want the number one stop shop for all things Bama. Look no further, turn no further, click no further than Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Pick up that app, download it on your iPhone App Store, iPhone, iPod, iPad, iPhone App Store. For the Android users, the Google Play Store, check it out, Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You'll be very glad you did. All things Bama. For those who crave Crimson Tide at the palm of your fingertips, check out that app there. Huge thing happened over the weekend between Alabama and the Ragin' Cajuns before we get into our first topic. And in a season where Tua Tagovailoa is dishing out ungodly numbers. I mean, this guy is slinging the football. We're talking about 25 touchdown passes in 2 years, has not even played a full fourth quarter at all. This season completing 75%. He's nearing 1,200 passing yards, 1,161 to be exact, 14 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, in a year where he's just been absolutely incredible. The stadium almost shook last week when number 2 from Channelview, Texas, Jalen Hurts took the field for his 5th game, completely negating the red shirt for him. And with the commotion that's going on at South Carolina for Clemson, where Dabo Swinney and Kelly Bryant are concerned, to see Jalen wholeheartedly ditch the red shirt to be there with his teammates, you have to take your cap off to that young man. Because at Clemson, and I'm not saying Kelly Bryant was wrong for what he did because he has the right to do what he did, but it's just a tough situation if you're a Tiger right now due to Kelly Bryant in his mind is thinking, I came to Clemson wanting to play football. I sat behind Deshaun Watson for 2 to 3 years. I paid my dues. I did my thing. I waited. I did exactly what everybody told me to do. I'm thinking now is going to be my time. And now here comes Trevor Lawrence, who granted might be better than me passing-wise, but I still feel like it's my time. And this happens. He feels like I'm disrespected. This is a slap in my face. He gets up and he goes elsewhere in a different situation than what Jalen Hurts is in. But Kelly Bryant gets up and goes elsewhere. And so here come the quote-unquote experts going, Kelly Bryant gets away. He's going to have a chance to go somewhere else where he can ball. He can put up big-time numbers. He's free. He can go be somebody's main guy. He can be somebody's ace in the hole. Jalen Hurts chooses to stay at a spot where there's a guy clearly better than him at the position. Definitely Kelly Bryant, and definitely Dabo Swinney handled this much better than Saban. Clearly, Kelly Bryant is definitely in a better spot than Jalen Hurts, while, lo and behold, Dabo Swinney's other quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, gets hurt. and it comes down to a third stringer to beat Syracuse. You barely edge out that game at home. Wow, Nick Saban happily has all three of his scholarship quarterbacks. He has 4 scholarship quarterbacks, but all 3 playing scholarship quarterbacks, Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Mac Jones, happily stacked to his deck. Why? Because Jalen Hurts has chosen the route, life is bigger than football. Nick Saban always talks about win the team. The best way to win the team is to be there for the team. And to see Jalen Hurts step out there, burning off, negating, saying no to the redshirt rule. I'm going to be here for Bama. I came for Bama. I came for this coaching staff. I came for these fans. And to see him out there on that field in the name of Bama football, Pamela Hurts, Avarian Hurts Sr., raised all of their children on core quality values. But of all of the values they've raised their children on, I think Jalen Hurts is the perfect embodiment of all of that. He wants to be here to improve this team, to improve himself, and also help himself along with Tua get better. Take your cap off to Jalen Hurts. What a job this young man has done. Take your cap off to the fans and showing him, hey, Tua's great, but we love you. For you staying, for you committing, and for you showing this team that you are surely, definitely, without a doubt, a team-minded individual. As we go into now, as we do each and every week, my impact most valuable players from the previous game. I mentioned on the last time I did this and talked about Texas A&M, the impact stars from that matchup, how Tua Tagovailoa is going to be on this list until he does something that's not worthy of this list. But just looking back at this game, and he was 8 of 8 passing, didn't misfire on a single pass, complete perfection, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, continuing to do his thing. Played the whole first quarter, and Alabama got him out of there. The job that Dan Enos has done with the entire quarterback room, I'm going to take the MVP list in a different route today. I remember me putting out this podcast on Enos' home run hire. So many guys were like, he came from Arkansas, he came from the Bielema regime. Arkansas didn't win a lot, but he came from Central Michigan. They were terrible. But Dan Enos took a lot of average to below average kids, average to below average young men, and produced major astronomical numbers. Dan Enos, from an offensive standpoint, is what Craig Kulagowski is from a defensive mind. Craig Kulagowski at Missouri, as a longtime assistant D-line coach, or longtime assistant coach on the defensive line, took guys like Micah Sam, Coney Ely, Marcus Golden, Sheldon Richardson, Shane Ray, guys that were 2 and 3 stars, and produced first-round NFL talents with all of those guys. Dan Enos is taking guys like Cooper Rush, Ryan Ratcliffe at Central Michigan, the Allen boys, Brandon and Austin at Arkansas, and put them all in the National Football League. And now he's got unarguably, the best quarterback room he's ever had. And right now, Tua's lights out. Jalen has leaps and bounds, tremendously improved. And how about Mac, baby A.J. McCarron-Jones, his first career touchdown pass over the weekend? So Enos' effect on all 3 guys has been outstanding. I remember I had his brother, Gary Enos, on, in my own words, back in the summer. And, Gary mentioned to me one of the things that Dan does so well is he improves the mental aspect of the quarterback to where when that guy walks in the huddle, everybody else shuts up. The quarterback, the most mentally tough guy in the room. He said Dan would do that. He also said Enos would improve Jalen's passing mechanics both of those have been done. So take your cap off also to Dan Eno's home run hire, improving the entire quarterback room. Now we get into my 5 MVPs, and first guy off the bat, running back Josh Jacobs, the junior. This man's got the hot hand, and I hope that Damian Harris is not frustrated right now. Alabama fans have not seen much of him really beast mode like he did the first 3 to 4 or 5 games last year. Of course, last year's team was more so suited to run the football versus this year's team where you've got a guy that can take the top off a secondary in Tua. You've got the receivers in Judy, Ruggs, Smith, Waddle running through defensive secondary. So the dynamic is different at this point, but Josh Jacobs, he's got the hot hand right now. 6 carries in the win over Louisiana, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaged 8.2 yards a carry. He set a physical tone in this game. Him running strong in between the tackles, him refusing to go down. For him to go down to the ground, the Raging Cajuns had to grab him by the face mask to get this young man down. And it was Jacobs' physical running that allowed for Najee Harris to come in. He had 11 carries, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Brian Robinson said, hey, I'll have a piece of that pie. Brian Robinson, 12 carries, 65 yards. He averaged 5.4 yards a carry. And even little Jerome Ford, true freshman, gets in there. 3 carries, 33 yards, averaged a whopping 11 yards a pop. I was on the field in the 4th quarter where he had a run around the left end, and I am not comparing him to the Heisman winner Derrick Henry. I'm not doing this. But when I saw him on the field, I don't know if the sun just hit him in the right light or the jersey that he is wearing. Remember, Derrick Henry, the middle part of his freshman year in 2013, he switched from number 3 to number 27. If y'all remember the Arkansas game in 2013 where Blake Sims was at quarterback in the second half, he handed the ball off to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry goes around the left end and pops down the field for an 80-yard run to the house, and fans are going, who in the world is that? My mind took me back to young Derrick Henry when I saw Jerome Ford, wearing number 27, runs around the left end, showcasing some speed, a little bit of power. Mine just took me back to young Derrick Henry. But Josh Jacobs, first MVP on this list, set a physical tone in this game. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns this season, a team high. Moving on down to number 2 here, Jalen Waddle, baby Waddle. Jalen Waddle, finally, the freshman from Houston, Texas, has his overdue meeting celebration with the painted grass. I put this young man on the clock last week in saying he will score. He will get his just due touchdown. He turned around and got 3, folks. 3 touchdowns for Jalen Waddle. Young man had a career day. Now, it took a great block from the linebacker freshman Jalen Moody to spring him on a 63-yard punt return house call. But then he comes back, catches a 17-yard touchdown pass from Tua Tagovailoa, and then he and Mac Jones became a part of history on Waddle's 3rd score as Waddle catches what should have been a 10-yard slant. He takes it 84 yards the rest of the way for a 94-yard touchdown, the longest touchdown completion play in Alabama history since the 2013 season where A.J. McCarron hooked up with Amari Cooper for a 99-yard score in the Iron Bowl against Auburn, Jordan-Hare Stadium. So Jalen Waddle, an absolute blur, ran away from the Raging Cajun defense. His 138 receiving yards led the team. Folks, we got at least 2 more years with the human joystick. That's all I gotta say. We got at least 2 more years to be pleasantly entertained by the human joystick. He had a big-time football game. This season thus far, 11 catches, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Number 3 most valuable player, we're going the defense, where we pick up cornerback Trayvon Diggs. This guy's played well all year. There were a lot of concerns about him in the offseason, especially after last year was supposed to have been his year. Got nervous against Florida State in that season opener, busted a few coverages, were blown a few coverages. Levi Wallace came in, took over, the rest is history. You thought maybe the same thing would happen again, but Trayvon Diggs tightened up. He has stopped talking. He has started playing, and he's played tremendously well against the Raging Cajuns. 4 tackles, a forced fumble, recorded his first career interception prior to halftime. At the right spot at the right time, using the athleticism, using his size at 6'2", 199 pounds to his advantage. Diggs so far this season, 13 tackles, 9th on the team, 5 pass breakups, a team high, and also the 1 interception. He is playing great football right now, finally doing the things Nick Saban has wanted him to do. He has stopped talking. He has started putting things into action. Fans should be very proud of Trayvon Diggs, my 3rd MVP. 4th guy, sticking with defense, Christian Miller, outside linebacker. Ever since the Ole Miss game, he has started to come out even more. Miller, 4 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss of 7 yards, which was his sack of quarterback Andre Nunez for a loss of 7 yards. He has really turned the corner since the Ole Miss game. The redshirt senior, 4.5 sacks on the year, which is 2nd behind Isaiah Buggs. 5.5 tackles for loss on the season, also 2nd behind Buggs. He's got 16 total tackles, 8th on the team, 2 quarterback hurries. He is one of the leaders on a team that is averaging a little over 3 sacks per game, 3.6 sacks a game, so almost 4 sacks a game for the Alabama defense. Christian Miller getting to the quarterback. Christian Miller turning that corner. He's being that alpha dog as a pass rusher in the absence of Terrell Lewis, someone of whom Alabama hopes to get back very, very soon. Christian Miller, number 4. And to round this out, last but not least, how about Derek Kief, a Naza wide receiver on special teams? This young man blocked a punt on Louisiana's first offensive possession. They go 3 and out. Derek Kief heads up play, blocks the punt, recovers the football, setting Alabama up with its first touchdown scoring possession that ended on a 9-yard run from Josh Jacobs. Kief has been here a long time, y'all. Came in 2014, 6'4", 4-star prospect from Ohio. You talk about a guy that has paid his dues, that has been a part of the process, that you really want to see do well. It's Derek Kief. He's battled through some injuries, primarily knee issues. If you look at Derek Kief's big play timeline, as I've got it listed right here, 2016, if y'all remember, he was the one that caught the game-winning touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts, freshman edition, in the back of the end zone during the spring game. And then 2017, last year, Kief caught a 13-yard touchdown from Tua Tagovailoa against Mercer. And then the 2018 season, this year, called a 14-yard touchdown pass against Arkansas State from Tua. And then against Louisiana, as I mentioned, blocked a punt. So his big play timeline is only 4. It's only 4 of them. But to see him come out there and put something in the stats column, to have a play that changed or helped Alabama get a lead, maintain the lead, and expound upon the lead, gotta be happy for a guy like Derek Kief, who has come in, who has paid his dues, who has stayed the course, and now got a chance to go out there on the field and make a big-time play on special teams, blocking that punt. So going back over this again, my 5 MVPs from Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns matchup. Number 1, Josh Jacobs. He set the tone in the run game. Number 2, Jalen Waddle. We got at least 2 more years of this kid. Enjoy it. He is flat out entertaining. Number 3, Trayvon Diggs, getting better and better each week in the secondary. Number 4, Christian Miller. Ever since the Ole Miss game, guy's been turned up. I'm loving it. Last but not least, Derek Kief, blocked the punt, paid his dues, and now being able to get out there in the field and do some things. Proud of that guy. Taking our first break here on In My Own Words. Don't touch that dial. Upon our return, they're not having the greatest of seasons, but we'll lay out the 5 marquee players for Arkansas, for Alabama to prepare for this week in practice. It's In My Own Words, folks. We'll be right back.